Good evening. I was actually in bed, and as all of you fellow Christians out there know, that God works all the time, and it's not just a 7 to 5 job, but we do His work. So when He calls us, it's our responsibility to go to work. So I am doing this video blog post right now at midnight with a baby who's finally sleeping because He asked me to. One of the nurses that we've had on this journey since day one, she was here the first day, said something to me that she's yet to say multiple times, and she even said it to me today. She said, you just have to love them through it. Well, love them through it. You know, what is that it? In our case, we are loving Madison through it is chemo, or through the transplant, or through, you know, whatever comes down the road in the next few days. Like, we're loving her through it. But tonight, when she said it, it hit my heart differently. To love someone through anything, through trials, choices, and it had me really thinking about how God loves us through all of our it's and through all of our things. Regardless of what choices we make, He literally loves us through it. And what I've noticed is, because God loves me through all of my seasons in life and through all of my choices, whether they're good or bad, He loves me through them. And sometimes, you know, Him loving us is teaching us, you know, having another trial maybe, or something that comes around, but He loves us through those things. And that's awesome. And because God loves us through all of those things, I'm able to, one, love Madison through anything that she goes through. And it's not just Madison. I was laying in bed next to her while God was trying to get me out of bed to do this video blog post. And I was thinking about, you know, different people in my life who frustrate me and challenge me. And God calls us to do two things: to love God and then to love one another. And sometimes that's loving those people through things that are rough and hard. And honestly, what I've noticed from where I'm at is I see God even when things aren't perfect. You know, I see God when there's destruction and devastation and defeat and despair. And honestly, that's where I see God most, when those things are going on. And you know what? It's because we are no longer doing things on our own. And it's because in those situations, you actually start to pay attention to how God is loving you through those things. And when Mary said that tonight, I was like, yeah, you know, Madison had a rough night. She was puking a lot. And I'm just like, how do you do it? And she says to me, you will love Madison through it. You know, whenever, you know, I took that and I wondered to myself, I wonder how many times God says to me, Lindsay, what are you doing? You know, or whatever. I do. I sometimes wonder that. And you know what? He loves me through it. I'm going to be very raw, is my word, with you guys. This journey has not been easy. It hasn't. This has been a trial, and there are times, I'm going to be honest, that I feel the destruction, and I feel the defeat, and I feel the despair. But God is loving me through those times and getting me through it. God called me to do this video blog. God called me to do the blog. And this is not something that's in my comfort zone, honestly. Yes, I do love being around people, and I love teaching in front of people. But this part is hard because this is not, I never listen to the videos again. I post them and then it's done. So if I stumble or don't say a word right, it is what it is. And that's me letting you in. And why am I letting you in? Because God has asked me to. In James chapter 1, and some of you know where I'm going with this, verse 2, it says, "Consider it great joy, my brother, whoever you experience various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. But endurance must do its complete work so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing." I'm letting you in because God has asked me to let you in. Kids get cancer every day. People you love have died or will die. Things happen to us that we don't understand, and that hurt. But you know what? God loves us through them if you let him love you through them. God is real. I see God all around, and I see God in wonderful things, like today whenever we see that Madison is fully engrafted, or today when Fallon's crib went back into the room that she left 2 weeks ago to go down to PICU. That's God. What you see right here is someone who is letting God work through them. I am not strong enough, and I have said that from the beginning. I'm not. But God is. And I trust him. And I know some people are going to be angry because I love God. But I love God, and those are my priorities. I love God, and I love Ryan, and I love my kids, and I love my family. And that is what it is. And God is going to love me through this season. He's going to love Madison through this season, and he's going to love you through this season. It's Friday, barely, like midnight past Friday. I want you to share Jesus with somebody who's struggling, somebody who needs him. And it could very well be you that needs God, and you need to see and let God love you through this season in your life. And my prayer is that you reach out to someone, and also that you get on your knees and you start praying to God, because God is real and he will love you through this season. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep your focus vertical. I have to keep telling myself that. It's all about vertical. Have a great weekend.